Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a very special guest. I'm delighted to be joined by a lot of people know Cheeky Sport Joel. Yeah, it's honestly like an honour to be speaking with you today because honestly, when I started sort of supporting Arsenal AFTV, you were sort of like the YouTubers that I sort of watched. So it's really nice to have you on today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you very much. I'm really happy to be on your channel. When I got the email come in the info, I thought, oh, it's a good idea because I like to see young people coming into the industry and doing well. And, especially you being female, I think it's
Mm.
really important that we push sometimes. I don't think there's always the support there, but so it's our duty to come and support each other as a community. So that's why I said straight away. I'm pretty sure it was pretty quick. I said, yeah, sure. We'll get this started we'll get it done at the start of the season. So here we are.
Yeah, I do really appreciate that as well because sometimes I send people emails and I think a lot of the time I probably don't expect much back off it. So yeah, it's very nice that you're taking the time out of your day to come on here. I do appreciate that. And I thought we could just this video, I hope people that watch this will get to know you a little bit better. And I wanted to start off really with sort of how the channel sort of started with you because I know a lot of the time your videos sort of blew up a little bit when you sort of met, the players and it was sort of like a jokey channel in a nice way. It was like a genuine interaction with the fans, with the players. So I know you started with Dave and Akeem as well. So I just thought I'd know how it all started and yeah, what kind of influenced you to make your own channel?
I just remember being in because I used to work in the pharmaceutical industry, and I was working, and I remember like seeing all the banter stuff online and WhatsApp. It was like probably I guess maybe like 11 years ago now when memes were like really popular and stuff like that. And I just thought this is so funny. And I had a bunch of friends, like the Daves, the Keems, my friends Jide, Nick, Ryan. There was so many different people that were like just funny. Jordan, like I can keep going. Really funny people. And I just remember thinking, we're so funny, man. These people are so funny, but nothing's happening with this. It's just being stuck on WhatsApp, you know. And then I just started thinking, this is a bit crazy. Like, what would happen if, what would happen after the interactions where celebrities start talking to fans. So it was like it was fresh when someone famous would tweet a regular person that we had never seen anything like that before. It was just like it was all new and stuff like that. So anyway, cut story short, I just thought what would be the next interaction? The next interaction will be when celebrities and football fans are talking on the same level like this. So that was the real reason for cheeky sport, but yet in a way where it's not boring analysis. I'm not saying that all
Yeah.
analysis is boring, but I just thought with a bit of sauce, a bit of liveliness. Anyway, then I started. I had a few trials, and I would invite friends to come and for the debate shows that we used to do, and it was just really hard because you're trying to gather everyone around every week, and people come to one or two, but then after that they're pretty busy because they got things to do. So then I remember saying to Dave, I said, Dave, I think we should go to stadiums, and it seemed like it was such a like thing, like really, like yeah. And then I think the first one we decided to go to was like a Man United game. I can't remember who they were playing, but then we went there and we drove all the hours, and we had the camera out, and batteries falling out the camera. Like it was. I remember that day. I really do remember that day. I remember meeting Andy Tate as well for the first time, and I was just like, "Oh my god, Andy Tate!" Yeah. We watch him online and stuff. So it was really good. And then I had a few presenters that kept letting me down, and just like
Yeah.
you reach out to
Yeah.
people, and people don't get back to you. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this because I thought, you know what, let me kind of like show that there are some people that
Yeah.
you should always chance because you never know. So and that was it really. And then we just decided to like keep on going from there. We'll go to games or edit videos like mad hours. We'll go there. I remember Dave came up with this sign my hand thing where we would get players to sign our
Yeah,
hand,
I love that.
and it was just, and then we kind of like mixed a little bit of analysis, but with the player interaction. And even though people didn't know who we were first, it was just like who were these wild people getting players to do a bunch of stuff. So that's it really.
Yeah, I love that because I think a lot of people did like at the time like well YouTube then was, getting famous as I mean now it's obviously there's so many content creators, especially in the
Yeah,
Arsenal world, but I think then it was sort of nice to have that funny side of it where you have that banter with the players and the fans
yeah,
can sort of connect with the players. So I think that's what made like what you did a bit different to other people because it was quite funny, but like you said, you did sort of do, reviews and other things, which I think was absolutely amazing. But like you said, I think a lot of people are always quite busy. So when you reach out to people, you sort of don't really know how it's going to go. But yeah, I always think you should always ask people for help. And you never know what will happen. Yeah, exactly. And
yeah.
obviously, you did a lot of stuff with players as well. Who would you say sort of the nicest person you've interviewed or met? It might be a footballer, it might be a presenter. It's up to you.
It depends. I think when it comes to the cheeky sport days,
Mm,
I think surprisingly, sometimes people give him stick, and it'll be a surprise that people will say, but I think Harry Kane was always responsive.
mm.
Uh, Being the star he is, he would always give you a word or something like that. And back then, a word means
Everything.
"Ah, Harry, what are you having for food? I'm having chicken tonight." Like, oh my god! Like, I know it's very silly, but he was always
Yeah,
kind of like he probably thought, "Who are these weird people like, that are always outside the stadium asking for things to get signed?" But like their hands and stuff. But he was, he always saw the light side to it. That's who I can think of right now. I'm
yeah,
pretty sure that if I was to go away and think, there'll probably be someone else. But
yeah.
Harry Kane comes to mind. Uh, I really I can't remember, man. We've met so many people. Eden Hazard. Oh my gosh, really, he has to be the nicest superstar out there, man. He really has to be. Like he is. What a guy! Like he's done videos for me at petrol stations. Like honestly, like he is the example. Like, and he would say to me, "He's oh, just keep going." Some of the guys talk about you at training, and I'm like, really?
That's
Like,
crazy to think.
yeah,
Yeah,
like so, like just really nice. He's another one, really, really nice. And um, in the beginning, Rio always took to us as well. He always had a minute for
yeah.
us as well, and Righty as well.
Oh,
When
right,
we
he's lovely, isn't he? Yeah, he's
Yeah, he had
nice.
he had time for us, especially when we were first starting. He had a few projects that we did, and he was involved. And yeah, he was just getting into the digital world himself. But yeah, like he had time for, and you remember, the people.
Yeah,
You remember people who have time for you, and when they don't have time for you, and when X, Y, and Z. Like you remember everything, especially from our position. You remember everything.
yeah, you
Like,
do. Yeah.
so it's yeah. Those are probably the people that come to mind first.
I love that. I think, like you said, it's nice, like, for players to acknowledge you or to wave at you, just things like that. It means a lot to us as fans, especially, as Arsenal fans. If an Arsenal player waved, it would feel, it would feel amazing. So I think that's yeah. Regarding like the Cheeky Sport channel, obviously a lot of the sort of stuff blew up a little bit, and like I said, as a fan, it was just genuinely nice content. But did you expect it to sort of be as successful as it was, or did you just sort of do it thinking, I'm having fun with my mates, I'm just gonna enjoy it?
Yeah, I just did it, if I'm honest with you. I mean, don't get me wrong, it doesn't always feel like fun when you're up late and you're traveling here,
Yeah, the dedication.
really difficult, and you're still dealing with people as well. So it's like, it's not always easy. I mean, obviously, I look back at it and there's definitely like nice memories and stuff like that. And I look at it as things that just helped catapult things that I do now, and it's gonna always have an impact in the things that I do in the future. And that's it really. Like we didn't want to we never wanted to be rude to the players and be
Mm.
disrespectful, because we always did have like the kind of like mindset that one day you're probably going to be working with these people or whatnot. So you don't want people to say, "Oh, you made me feel bad," you know. So I think you just treat people how you want to be treated. I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, I think obviously, like, if you have players that you look up to, you know, you treat them more than a person, but they
Yeah,
really are just people, like, that just love football, that play for your club or
yeah,
play for other teams. So I think, like you said, it's so important to just treat them sort of with that respect, and especially
mm.
after a game, if, you know, they've lost, they'll feel it themselves. They'll know that they
Yeah,
wanted to
it's
win. 'Cause I saw
yeah,
something the other day about, I think it was Everton, and I felt a bit, "Oh god," because I think, you know, if you've had a bad game, you'll know that yourself. You don't need other
yeah,
people to sort of tell you
yeah,
that.
yeah. Everton fans are very passionate. And I've got a friend called Ped. He does a really good channel for the Everton fans, and I know that he's one of the he's a great example. He's passionate, never personal, never malicious, but he is passionate, and I feel for the fans when the players don't do well, especially they've had to have points deducted. You know, they've really gone through the mud. You know, but so I guess maybe it's just something that's been boiling up with them
Yeah.
for a while. I think.
I think when, like, I mean, Arsenal's a good example. Like, a few years ago, I think when your club doesn't do well, fans just aren't happy about it. And I think I always say, as long as you're not personal, I think that's absolutely fine to just say how you feel. But yeah, it is amazing sort of how YouTube has sort of changed now, because when I was, you know, when I was saying, when I watched Arsenal when I was growing up, it wasn't as big as it was now, and it's sort of amazing to see, you know, you look at pundits have their say, but it's also great to see Arsenal fans or any fans out there do what they want to do online. And yeah, I've well, you know, the way we sort of do YouTube as well. Would you give, if you had to give any advice to maybe people starting out or people that are thinking they want to do the channel, but they're maybe not too sure if they're worried about other things, maybe trolls or other things? Do you have any advice for maybe anyone who wants to start their own channel?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think having thick skin is probably the most important thing, and we all go through it. Even now, you
Yeah,
might think, "Oh, you should be so used to it." I think everyone's pretty conscious of what people think, what people don't think, and as much as people say, "Oh, I don't care," like I think human beings they do care. I think you need to just have thick skin, man. You have to have that. If someone says no, you can't look at it as a no. You kind of have to look at it and go, "Okay, you don't want to be successful with me right now." Which is fine, you know, because in the future you might want to, and then it's going to be my choice whether I
yeah.
want to do stuff with you. So that's in terms of like receiving yeses and nos in the industry or with whatever you're doing. But then at the same time, with the fans, you just need to keep going and try to decipher what is hate and what is just people being negative for no reason. Like on one of the shows that I'm on now, with Rio, I'm like, and Steve, who's also on the channel, I'm like the hated Arsenal fan on the channel where it's like United people. And it was, oh, I hate Joe. He's always coming with his crap, and you know, but I know that sometimes that's part of the character. They
Yeah.
hate they love to hate the character, you know, and maybe some people they just hate you in general as well. Fair enough, that's fine. You have to be able to decipher between the two. Otherwise, you can go every week. You'll be going, "Oh my gosh, they don't like me. What am I going to do?" Like you can't live like that because otherwise, you know, these things can dictate your day, and it's really not nice where you might see it sometimes where you have a good video and you're really happy, and then there's a video that doesn't really do well and it really affects your day. You have to be really careful about that because we should try our best to not seek validation from other people, you know. I don't hide. I'm a Christian. I'm a churchgoer as well. So I try my absolute best to seek validation from God, but it can be very tough sometimes. Some days I feel more like I don't care, and then some days I kind of think, oh God, what's going on over here? So we all have our days, you know. So you just have to like really keep on going and believe, you know.
Yeah, I definitely agree with all that. I think, do you know what? I think at the start when you get your first or a few comments that aren't nice, it probably does shock you at first because you're not used to it. But I think the more you get used to it, unfortunately, it sort of doesn't bother you as much. But like you said, you know, as humans, it's just in us to just, you know, it's okay to get upset about these things. But I think like you said, if you know you've done a video that you're happy with, I think, you know, it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter what anyone else says, but if you do a video that you're not really happy with, it makes it harder when people say mean things. But I think it's just, I think you should definitely always do something that you're passionate about. Because for me, when I
Mm,
started a few years ago, I didn't I just sort of did it because my family do like football, but not as much as I do, and I just felt like ranting on or like talking on my phone or laptop about it helped me.
Mm.
So I think it's obviously good to do it for the right reasons as well. But I definitely think along the way, unfortunately, people will say no to you. But I think you've just got to not take it personally because I'm sure they're busy and they'd want to help you if they could. But like,
Well, sometimes people they only going to help you if they think it benefits them. Like
yeah,
there's a lot of that, and sometimes we all do that. You know, sometimes we all think, "Oh, how much is this going to benefit?" But you can't be in that mode all the time. You also have to be in the mode of giving back and understanding where and when you
yeah,
can. You know, so it's about getting the balance right. You know, like
yeah.
that's the best thing I would say.
Yeah, I always say, you know, I have a lot of people on my channel, but I also like to help out other people as well. I think it's a
Mm.
part of the community that you want to do because, you know, we're all in this together. We all want to grow and, you know, get better. So I always believe definitely in helping each other, and that's why I do appreciate you coming on today. It's been so lovely to speak to you, and yeah, I've really enjoyed this. Thank you so much for coming on today.
I was gonna say I've got a few questions to ask you now. Then
Okay,
that's
go on.
big season for us this season,
I
Arsenal
know I'm
football.
so nervous.
I'm so nervous, but really and truly, there's been two games that have been played so far. Right, we've beaten Villa a couple of days ago, and what was the first one? Wolves, wasn't it? You know, we beat
Yeah.
Wolves. Well. Clean sheets so far. You know, Bukayo Saka. Some people say he hasn't really kicked on yet, but the numbers are saying different things. Yeah. Do you believe this year is finally our year to win the league?
Yeah, I do, but do you know what? I say this every year. I'm like, every year we're gonna do it. But yeah, I think last season when it ended against Everton on last game, I feel
Mhm.
like the players looked so hungry and determined to do it. So I thought this season that will give them that motivation to want to do it. But I also do think the transfer window is a big part as well. I do like I'd love a striker, but I also think if we brought Marino in, if that's it, possibly we will get goals, you know, around the team. But I think as well with Martinelli at the moment, he's struggling a little bit in confidence. But
Mhm.
I do really believe we can do it. What about you? How are you feeling about it? Do you think
I
we can
think
do it?
I think out of all the years that we've been challenging, the last
Yeah,
two previous seasons, this is the one where I'm like, you know what, we might be able to do it. You know, I do think if Eddie goes, um, I do want to see someone. I mean, at the very latest by Christmas, we're probably going to need someone. But the problem is who's out there that can help us. I think last
exactly.
year I would have taken Ivan Tony just because I would say he might have been able to help us get over the line. Do I want him for the long term? Nah, probably not, if I'm honest with you. But because so now I wouldn't go for him. But I think, you know, when you want to get over the line, that's when you need to turn around and go, okay, we need a striker. Would that have been a Solanke? Would that have been Ivan Tony? Would that have been, you know, my number one, the person I really want is Isak, but I
Yeah,
don't
me too. Yeah.
I don't know what the situation is with that, if I'm honest. So we'll see.
Yeah, I've always been like Isaac, Tony, either of them I would probably take, but I
Mhm.
don't really think we're gonna bring anyone in the summer, unfortunately.
No, I think the summer's a bit, yeah. But would you take Raheem Sterling in if he came, if we did a quick last minute loan or something?
Do you know what? Like, I don't think we have anything to lose by bringing him in, really, because like if you think about it, when Havertz came in, I I wasn't against it, but I wasn't for it. I was sort of in the middle, and you look at it now. Arteta has definitely helped him with that confidence. So
Mhm.
it would be nice, obviously. I think as well with Saka, I don't want him to kind of be burnt out like he was towards last season. So a rotation would be good. I mean, it doesn't excite me, but I wouldn't say no to it, if you know what I mean. I think he's obviously struggling a lot, and I think he just need a club that will help him with that confidence. Would you bring him, or it's a
I
tough
would. You
one?
know, I only
Yeah,
thought about it really yesterday. Like I wanted him before he went to. I would have taken him, especially before he went to Chelsea. If you had asked me a week ago, I probably would have said nah. But then you know, sometimes you have
yeah.
conversations. You sit down and go, actually, you know what? Maybe it's not a bad idea actually. So yeah, like exactly for those reasons, I think Saka needs a break, man. He's been busy since 2021. You know, he's hardly had a rest time, and so the fact that he's getting assists and he's getting goals, you know, 3 weeks after reaching the Euros final, you know, again,
Yeah.
is incredible. You know, so I think I would love to see some experience Raheem Sterling get his confidence back up. He's still got pace. You know, he knows how to win. I would take him. I would, you
Yeah.
know,
I don't
along the
think
line.
we've got much to lose by bringing him in, and
Yeah,
yeah, I think we do need that bit of rotation at the moment, especially with sort of players that have played in the Euros. I mean, Rice is a good example because
yeah,
I don't in a moment we've not really seen how he was last season, but he's played so much in the Euros. He's just really exhausted at the moment. But
yeah,
yeah,
tired, yeah.
I think I'm quite open with who I'd bring in, to be honest. And with the signings Arteta's brought in, most of the time they've been good. So I've
Yeah,
got that belief in him that it will be
trust.
good to be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
trust. Yeah.
That's me. Oh man, listen, Sophie, this has been good. And
Thank
for
you.
everyone watching your channel, if you haven't subscribed, I'm telling you here, please make sure you subscribe. It's all about supporting people in our community, and she is the perfect example of a go-getter. And I'm really, really proud of her. And I just hope that she can carry on. And then maybe one day she'll do me the favor when I need her on the channel so
Of
thank
course.
you so much for your time, and you've obviously been raised well in your family, and just keep up the great work.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And like I said at the start, I do appreciate you taking the time out of your day as well, because I know you're probably busy and it's just nice to even 15, 20 minutes of your time. It's really appreciated. So a big thank you for coming on, and I hope you
Yes.
guys that will be watching this back as well have thoroughly enjoyed this. Hopefully you'll get to know Joel a bit better from watching this. But yeah, thank you all so much for
Wait, wait, wait,
watching.
wait, wait. Tell them to subscribe to my new YouTube channel, Joel Beya TV. So
Yeah,
tell them,
subscribe. I'll put it in the
put it in the
description as
video,
well.
put it in the description, put it on the
Joel
screen.
Bayer
Joel
TV,
Beya
subscribe.
TV, Joe Bear TV on YouTube, Joel Bear on Instagram, but the YouTube, I'm really trying to push that.
Yeah, I'll put that when I upload this, I'll put it in the title definitely. So do
Thank
subscribe
you.
to his channel definitely, because he's a legend. So thank you all for watching, and I'll speak to you very soon. Bye.